section of Catholic theology. It wants to discuss the achievements of the Council and to explore how Catholics understand and live out their Christian faith in today's world. It will look at the symbols and the stories which are so important to them, as well as the theology that embodies them. Starting always with Scripture and Christian history, it seeks to explore the Church's faith and theology, its sacramental life and spirituality, its culture, and the face it turns towards the world in light of the Second Vatican Council. A final section will take a brief look ahead as the Church moves more deeply into the 21st century. Catholicism refers to a particular experience of Christianity shared by Christians living in communion with the Bishop of Rome. They have a strong sense for their Church as a visible historical community reaching back to the time of Christian origins. One could say that the Catholic Church is the world's oldest institution. In a broader sense, the Catholic tradition includes Anglicans and Orthodox who share in the seven sacraments and in the Catholic structuring of the Church, without the papal office, of course. The adjective Catholic was first used by Ignatius of Antioch, a very early bishop in the Church, around the year 110. It comes from the Greek word katholos, meaning whole or entire. It's often taken as universal, as in the universal Church or the whole Church. But Catholic also refers to embracing all of those elements of Christian faith, all of those elements of the Church, which should be found in any local church, and which come together in the communion of the Church Catholic, the Church Universal, the whole Church. After the break between Eastern and Western Christianity, with Eastern Christianity centered in Constantinople and Western Christianity centered in the Latin West, Catholic became more a term for the Western Latin Church, while the Eastern churches were called Orthodox, language we still use today when we talk about the Orthodox churches, or the Catholic Church, or the Roman Catholic Church. For Catholics, Catholicism means an inherently ecclesial experience of Christian faith. God's life, God's grace, God's presence are all mediated through the community of the Church, through its sacraments. Catholics often talk about the Church as mother because it brings us into the life of faith, a term that's been used since the 2nd century. Catholics often think of the Church in terms of its universality, where Protestants more typically think of the local church or the local congregation as church. Catholicism seeks to embrace all of God's people. No one is excluded. It embraces people of different classes, race, and culture. It embraces conservatives and liberals, saints and sinners, the rich and the poor, adults and children, even infants. It includes members of Opus Dei and anarchist Catholic workers. It embraces charismatics, feminists, Latin Mass traditionalists, singles and celibates, married people, straights and gays, monks and nuns, mystics and activists. It embraces the communion of saints, all those who have gone before us also. Or as James Joyce once said, Catholicism means, here comes everybody. Typical of Catholicism is a sense for the historical uniqueness of their church, reaching back to the primitive Christian communities. Catholicism has a hierarchical ministry of bishops, priests, and deacons. It has a clear teaching authority exercised by the Pope and the bishops. It has a reverence for tradition. Catholicism is characterized by an emphasis on the